Good morning. There it is. Welcome, 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 welcome. Yay, we made it to Thanksgiving. It is an awesome, beautiful day here in South Florida. And we are tracking again this week, well, at least today, with the goddesses. Our goddess today is Kali. So welcome, welcome. And whew, Kali's been part of my journey for such a long, like since the beginning. And for those of you who don't know, it wasn't really, she wasn't part of, I didn't even know who Kali was, right? Like spiritual mythology and everything wasn't part of my frame of reference or construct when I started this work. And so to have Kali be one of your first ones that comes in, and in seeing the patterns in my life, it was very evident that her essence, her energy has tracked a long time, and most likely has for a lot of you as well if you're coming in, tuning in here, because Kali is about liberation. She is about freedom. Yes, she's also about death and destruction, but it is death and destruction of the chains that are binding us, right? The energies and the essence that is holding us hostage to the continued repeated patterns and paradigms and all of the things. So what better way, as we on the cusp, I feel like we're on the eve of the holiday season where the gears just totally shift. What better way to close out really an incredible year, to let her, I mean, I feel like she's been the theme for many of us for the entire year, just a slow process of learning new codes and learning new ways of being and connecting. And so let's send it off. Let's send this season off, send this what was off, and welcome in what's new with a completely new slate, right? Because from that blank slate, if you will, we can allow the essence of all of the seeds you've been nurturing and planting for the year to rise up. So, with that being said, whew, nice deep breath in and exhale out. Go ahead on the next inhale. Really breathe in. I want you to move your body up into it as though you're underwater and you're stretching, reaching the shoulders up, bringing the head above the surface. Nice big gulp of air, rolling the shoulders back and settling into the spine. And let's do it again. You guys don't feel quite open enough yet through the spine, through the body. And one more. And go ahead and just tip the head back. Let it hang for a moment as best it can. And then bringing yourself in, sitting up straight in your sitting bones. If you're laying down, laying long through the body, just wiggling those hips out to get the spine as stretched as it possibly can. Nice deep inhale. There we go. Everybody's with me now. All right. Beautiful. Let's kick off with our usual light link, bringing middle finger to thumb. Nice deep inhale as you send your consciousness to the heavens, to the sun, to the sky, and feeling that light of the sun. And just pause here for a moment. Really let yourself not only connect to the sun, but the nature, the environment around you, and the etheric environment around you. Feeling the warmth of the sun as you notice its first rays of light on the trees and the leaves, and let it carry you to the grass. And imagining the grass beneath your toes as we move to the second part of our light link, and really sinking powerfully up with the earth. And I want to have you feel the contrast between the cool air, again, imagining this in, right? Cool air, warm, warm, warm sun, and grass that is cool and damp from the dew. Go ahead and just sink with that for a moment and notice, I want you just to observe your energy body, even if it feels really dense. Notice how your energy body is organizing around this staff, around this pillar, around this axis between heaven and earth. It's very subtle movement, but kind of a settling. You may feel like wiggling in your body. If so, do it, respond, listen to the body. The body's talking to us 90%, or the body's talking to us nonstop. We are listening about 7% of the time. So just really listen to your body in this moment. The more you listen, the more you hear, sense, and feel that movement of that subtle energy that right now feels like a glass of water swishing around inside of you as you stabilize on that axis. Beautiful. Again, finding the sun, finding the earth, and bringing it all into your heart, letting yourself be centered in the heart. Amazing. This feels so good. We could be done right here today. For those of you that just want to drift off now, I give you full permission to do so because Kali is a heavy hitter, some good, juicy energy coming down. We want to be sure we're good and centered in our bodies as we welcome her in. So many ways to call Kali in. Oh, and there she is. All right. Keep finding that sun. And then seeing the sun with a cloud moving over, and then another, and some thunder clouds in the distance. For all of my Florida peeps, we know what this looks like with those big storms boiling up over the ocean. And we know what it feels like with Kali's hurricane energy coming through. But that calm before the storm, go ahead and feel into that. And we know that there's some breeze on the front end. She's bringing us in through the elements. So there it is, already moving some energy inside. Nice deep breaths. We're going to use the visuals of the hurricane coming through. For those of you that are not anywhere near stormy stuff and big hurricanes like we get here in South Florida, just trust as you feel these clouds and the breeze begin to whip around you, to wrap, not only whip around you, but wrap around you. As the storm builds, I really want you to feel centered, as though there's a vortex all around you, because this storm that's coming in, it's as though you are becoming the eye of the storm. You are becoming the central point, the vortex. So all of that movement, we felt the sloshing internally as you stabilized. It's allowing us now to move to the outer field of our energy bodies and feel that disconnection, or feel that connection to all of the disconnection within the energy body. All of the things, the noises, the voices that are not yours, the more we center into our core, the more clear the external noise becomes. And that is coming through today in the form of this storm building up around us. So I literally have this inner energy coming in from the right side of my body, clouds building all behind me, some lightning. I can feel the wind. Like if I were to poke my hand about 3 feet out, it would be a wall of air and energy swirling at an incredibly fast rate. But we are safe in the center of this storm because that is Kali. She is not here to destroy us. She is here to destroy what is not serving all around us. The old ideas, the old patterns that have held you hostage. All I'm actually doing, all Kali is doing, is showing you how much disruption from your core is surrounding you right now. We all have it because we have to engage with the matrix, right? We have to plug in. So just notice how big it is there, how noisy it can get and be, how much energy you hand off to that storm. And yes, sometimes it's good, but other times it holds us hostage. holds us hostage. There are chains that hold us hostage. Mm. Can feel some of you giggling at that image as it comes in. You were probably already there. I want you to look down at your feet and imagine shackles around your ankles and some ancient, old chains. Big, like we're talking a big boat anchor, couple 3-4 inches. We're going bigger after this, but 3-4 inches. And just notice where you feel shackled and these chains coming off of your body. I'm getting a strong hit on the right ankle, strong hit actually at the back, as though holding you back. A couple people have a shackle around their neck. Guys are pulling in some good stuff. That left side for everyone feels pretty okay. Maybe more so a chain around the waist for the left side is how that's appearing. And just trace these chains out. Many of them feel like they go dimensional, meaning it's like as I feel into, especially that one on the right foot, it's like, it goes into the earth and beyond, drops into some dimensional space. So what we want to do is allow this storm that Kali has kicked up. It is loud all around us, silent in the center. There's even a couple of you have some birds, some angels here presenced with you. We're going to let her open the other dimensions. So no longer standing on earth, but this dimensional layer deep beneath the earth. The second dimension, the telluric realm. You may feel yourself flip inside out as though you were standing on the top of a coin, they just flipped it over. We went from being in Kali, the light of the 3D, into the darkness of below. And that's okay. You don't need to have the visual of that necessarily, but just so you know, that's one way to call up that second dimensional realm. Licking the lips, relaxing the jaw, rolling the neck. Be in your body. This is some big energy that's rising up as soon as we made that flip. Whew. All right. She is getting ready to rip these chains out through this storm. And the purpose of it is not. Chains are good, right? These chains at times have served you because, well, when we call in the Magdalene, one of her symbols is the anchor, and an anchor has a chain to tether us. So what's here is an upgrading, a releasing of several of these chains, but at one time, know that they served you, especially that right leg masculine. That is how have you connected? Where are you tethered and being held back in your field from going out and getting the work done, doing the real work, understanding the real work, connecting to your codes, releasing the shame, the frustration, and the biggest one here that shows up in the masculine, your victimhood. Because yes, while you've been the warrior and the attacker, you also have been the one wounded. But today you've got to, in order to release these chains, that wounding does not serve any further. You've learned your lesson. We like to say in EQ, it takes 3 seconds to create an emotion, 3 seconds for it to release to the body. Think of all the emotions you hold in your body. And it's way more than 6 seconds that you have been holding them. And so that shame, that guilt, that victimhood, all of it, just another way for you to connect in to the matrix. It works. It's effective. We've all used it, but it does not serve at this next level, because at this next level, we're going into free energy, being deeply resourced. Okay, I think everyone is with me. Was just talking through letting the energy cue itself up as we are going for liberation today. Liberation that is deep, that is fierce, that is courageous. Because what I want to have you do is welcome Kali all the way in. And there is something here before you that emerges as you envision yourself standing in front of the storm. There is that pillar, that staff, that axis that we built in the beginning, like a golden light. You may see it like a silver post cord. I'm going to go with cord. I want you to tie on a silver cord. You're seeing the post to hang on to. That's cool too. Go ahead. Feel free to tie a silver cord around your waist. That is immunity. That is Sylvestra. That is your actual root cord to your divine creative divine consciousness. So anchor that in. I want you to hold on to it for dear life. And welcome Kali in. You're going to see her and her love, vast midnight in purple in her color if she presents herself to you. And also, for those of you that are more physical, just feel it's almost as though she opens her mouth and that tornado, that hurricane, and its insane winds unleash on you. And yet internally, you're still and you're calm. The gift here is we don't get to hide. We don't have to hide from our demons and from the things we fear, from death itself. For Kali is death itself. Face it head on. Let her show you her wrath and her anger and her despair and her hatred, and walk through it. Walk into her, hug her. Despite all of it, hug her, holding that cord, that tether. And as you do, this is not a let her come to you and slice it off. This is a you step into her, right foot first with that shackle as it springs free. The neck unshackled, the waist unshackled, the throat unshackled. You step in, embracing this darkness as your own. And as we fully come in, suddenly there is only darkness and stillness all around. And look for that silver cord, that tether. For in it and through it, it is Kali's gift. It is what she has become. Think about what immunity is. Your immune system. What does it do? It fights all of the things, the viruses, the bugs, the yuck. It rallies around the bacteria that are bad. It summons other bacteria, right? Like you have this incredible immune system that we understand physically through our body, energetically. What beliefs? Your body does this without you having to even rally the troops and think fight. You don't have to have that warrior consciousness alive for your immune system to function. And so too is Kali's anger and her rage at its root and its core. this incredible immunity, a shield to protect, to neutralize. Let yourself find this calm. Breathe into it. And as you breathe, it's as though we're standing in a field of black with Kali and silver, liquid silver starts to emerge all around you as though we're standing in a puddle of it. I want you to imagine this puddle like a lake of silver. You taking your finger, bending down, taking your finger and swirling, making a circle around you, and watch the ripple move out. And as it moves out, minus the wind and the anger and the rage, we're in a different dimension than we were standing there with the wind and imagining the storm. But each of these ripples is that immune response to the matrix, to the haters and the naysayers and the downers and the evil and the shame and the guilt and the projections. We're living in a holographic matrix, and the projections are just not true. Who you are, who you understand yourself to be, so many elements, not true. You are light. This energy you're seeing, feeling, sensing by just presencing with me. Amen, Ashi. That's what you are. You don't need to be in grit. You don't need to hustle. You don't need to grind. Yeah, sure, there's times. But those times when we do that are because we are coming from pure divine essence and energy, the purest desires of our soul, not because we think we should, not because we think we're not going to make it or we don't have enough to get by. This here is the dance. Let it code out of your system. Let yourself feel this pure, unadulterated calm, knowing that this field of silvery immunity energy is conquering all as you observe. I think we did it. Time to come back. So we're going to come back. You are the silver cord right now. I want you to gaze up to that other dimension or through to that other dimension where we were standing in the center of the storm. And I want you to feel yourself as your desire to manifest, to create, to do life. And the desire begins to swirl. So again, we're inverted right now. So it's like if we were standing on a coin and we flipped it over, we're like standing on the bottom side of the coin. So everything's opposite. So this silvery energy begins to form its own tornado, except the tip of the tornado is at your feet, not the big top of the funnel. The bottom of the funnel is at your feet, and it's grown up to you like a vine. And as we flip over and imagine ourselves sitting here, we can feel the tip of that silvery energy piercing through the base of the feet into this dimensional realm. And in this dimensional realm, it doesn't need to be a vortex. It doesn't need to be the tornado or the hurricane. We can imagine ourselves inverted, flipped over below, through circling our hands, stirring up that Sylvestra, that energy, it coming in, making a nice big vortex, a tornado, and then feeling that as it hits the bottom of our feet We then flip upright into the top half of the projection, because you are a projection. Think about this with the inversion. When you take a picture on your phone sometimes and you're driving, it looks like you're on the right side of the car when you know, obviously, in the States, you were driving on the left, right? It inverts, the image flips. That's the flip that we're doing here. Let yourself flip up. It may even be to think about yourself as a sock puppet, and you, from where we're sitting in 3D, can reach down and grab that cord, grab that thread that vortex is creating, and draw it all the way up and through the legs, primarily through the tail. Imagining you have a tail you can draw it through, in through the tailbone, up the spine, all the way through to the top of the head, until you feel that silvery energy like a fountain splashing out and around you. So you can see your toric field. You are the hole in the donut, and that silvery energy is coming up and through and then splashing around the donut. Hello, Kali. Hello, liberation. Take a moment to breathe, to feel, to connect. Let yourself see her through this lens now. Pure love, pure rebirth, a new day, a new you. Welcome, welcome, welcome home. With that, making your way all the way back into the room, into the moment. I want to express my love and gratitude to each of you. And if you're catching this on the YouTube, please just put a heart in the comments, or a gratitude, write gratitude. I love you all so much. I'm so grateful, because without this, I wouldn't be able to come in. And, so often we think we're just dropping into meditation, but look what we did today. We brought the divine in. We had this incredible space to hang, to chill, to learn from, to understand ourselves. And without you showing up and saying yes to this, it wouldn't have the drive it does. But it's been a dream of mine, and one that's continued to persist. I've always seen, like, is there some way we can collectively all just show up together and move with the energy together? Because tomorrow it'll be something new, right? How do we harness it? How do we capture it? And this became my answer to that. And I couldn't do it without each of you. So much love. Namaste. I will see you all tomorrow. We are going to be here for Thanksgiving. Can't wait.